out before I hit the road. And it was hot. I said, man, point that fan at me. And I'll be good to go. Wasn't playing songs for long when came in candidly. But the prettiest young thing I ever saw. And she was hot. Well, nothing short of masterpiece. I said, oh, I need to know. Yeah, is that your man? Yeah, cause if it isn't, yeah, I'ma play my very best for you tonight. She said, I have a proposition. Every really want to take me home tonight. I said, what's that? And she said, if you can make me dance, I'll stay forever. If you can make me dance, I'll stay forever. So I sung a heart I wore when it came hard to breathe. Had to focus to make sure I hit the notes. And this palm and I won't blame you if you can't believe. But she began to glow. That's your man, hey, cause if it isn't, I'ma play my very best for you tonight. Now she say I'm a magician. And if you really want to take me home tonight, it's quite alright. Yeah, she say, if you can make me dance, I'll stay forever. If you can make me dance, I'll stay forever. I'm in love, girl, is it obvious? I'm just trying to figure you out. I want all of you if I'm honest. I'm just trying to figure you out. You're all I need to know. You're all I need to know. 'Cause you're all I need, you're all I need, you're all I need to know. 'Cause you're all I need, you're all I need, you're all I need to know. 'Cause you're all I need, you're all I need, you're all I need to know. 'Cause you're all I need, you're all I need, you're all I need.
I give it all away. You're like my reason for life when my dreams seem so far away. You give me all that I don't fade. I don't wanna go to war. You don't wanna give me peace. I can never leave you alone, even when I'm overseas. If I gotta do a show, you coming with me. Baby girl, you a prime time. I don't care if everybody see. Couple weeks I had to leave, now coming back off road. Tell me you love me and tell me you love me and tell me you love me and don't let me go. Tell me you love me and tell me you love me and tell me you love me and don't let me go.
Nobody.
Now from the great state of Illinois, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the second city of Chicago. Today it's a Week 9 matchup, but we are all set to go, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team.
Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they've certainly found their groove of late. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. We might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
They're going to look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. And they'll send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the punt kicks out of bounds, and they will spot it right at the 25-yard line.
The home team's offense, led by their running back, headed out for the 2nd possession. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's 2nd best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
When you look at this defense,
this unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the
pressure comes, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
The Chicago offense set to get started. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
47-yard line.
2nd and 6.
Yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
They bring their punter out there now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
But simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
47-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. At the 42.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try and sneak it here. And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
And he'll take this down to the 33. From the 33, here's 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
At the 23-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
A gain of 7. It's 4th down.
And his kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
brings up 2nd and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go
Under pressure, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And the numbers have looked good this season. Case in point right here. He is up there among the NFL leaders in TD passes.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
13 yards. 1st down, Chicago.
Right back to him on 1st down. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back to throw here. Able to shake him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
The Chicago offense set to get started. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30.
First down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. In trouble, and he's taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
At the 19-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
A gain of 12 yards. Brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
29-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
3rd down and 1.
They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Fair catch. Signaled for.
Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
First down. A gain of 14. First down, Chicago.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to our studios in Orlando. Scott Hansen with you, and we'll keep it brief because the scoring has been brief. Just 1 field goal as we play on 3-0. I was promised there'd be touchdowns, so let's find out if we could get one in the 3rd quarter. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First down, Chicago.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll set up a throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
At the 47-yard line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got his man on the out route.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Chicago offense set to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
At the 47-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Now 2nd and 5. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of 5.
They'll go with the keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Give him 2 on the play there. And it'll be a Chicago first down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Hands it off out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
At the 48-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Back now here on EA Sports. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 24-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 73 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. 68 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. No, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
Here's 2nd and 3.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. They'll drop the throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. from 17 yards out. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
At the 46-yard line.
Right back to him on first down. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
47-yard line.
Back to throw. That is incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. He'll drop to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
First down, Chicago.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
106 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. From 10 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Chicago offense set to get started. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Brings up third down and 10.
He'll try and do this himself, and he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up second and 12.
At the 17-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
12 yards. Brings up fourth down.
They'll set up to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. As they try to finish things off in this fourth quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Chicago, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.